G'day boys, welcome back to another Frostbite's G.I. Joe Repro review video. Today we're looking at Wetsuit. I saw this guy in the shops. All I could think to myself was, I don't mind a bit of Wetsuit. This guy back in the 80s was a pretty amazing character. Real funny and weird sort of figure. Here's my one from my cabinet. He's complete. Now, the thing that always got me with this guy was, so he was underwater demolitions, right? He's a SEAL, and he's meant to be, I think reasonably stealthy. You're going to be taking care of demolitions underwater. You want to have some level of stealth about you. So they gave him some bright yellow parts, and then even his suit, blue and white, just always sort of weirded me out a little bit. And then the other part was no weapons. I mean, we have parts molded on. There's a pistol molded on there. And he's got his knife, obviously. Yeah, no weapons as such. And that, as a G.I. Joe, sort of, I found that weird as well. That was a secondary thing. There wasn't too many G.I. Joes that didn't have weapons. I would have thought he might have, a lot of the underwater characters, the divers as such, came with something, some kind of harpoon or, just something to fire underwater. Whereas this guy was just a pure diver. And then the other weird thing was, as an underwater demolitions guy, where are his demolitions components? He sort of came with his little jet sled thing, light, some type of lamp, had this beautiful hose, and then his backpack and his flippers with the yellow parts. But yeah, I don't know. It's just always found it weird. He was more some type of recreational diver than he was a Navy SEAL. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm always open to realizing that I'm missing something. So yeah, let me know. Now, finding this guy in a shop in Canberra was, it's a bit of a mission, but I have started to narrow down what shops actually stock this stuff. And they don't stock a lot of it. They generally get one of each of the new releases in, and then when they sell, they'll get some more sent in. They do not have like 20 of each. They have one of each. And I found a second shop today. I actually saw the Hawk and MMS set. I saw Mainframe, and I saw the police, like the cop figure. In another shop. So that was, I thought, a bit weird. Just really hard to find in the general public here in Australia. So yeah, when I do find these things, I usually make a pretty quick decision on, do I want it or don't I? Now this has come out as a classified figure, nothing retro about it, although this thing screams retro to me, but we'll go into that in a little bit. We have our nice, beautiful open window on the front, beautifully displaying the figure. Then on the side, we have this James Bondish floating, holding pistol picture which no doubt I'm going to guess is some type of AI creation like the most recent artworks. On the back, we have him, you know, swimming along. He's got a bit of shark company in the background. Some type of wreck. And then sort of looking at that, doesn't look like anything too exciting at this point in time, but I'm sure it may turn out to be something in the future. They're pointing out his face mold, which good on them. Face mold seemed to be, to me, to be one of the most contentious issues that exist with the classified series. And we're also getting a bit of a look at the accessories that come with it. On the other side, we've got our scan things and, you know, this crap. I never, ever pay attention to this. It just seems like a waste of time to me. I would hope that this isn't someone's job. Like, I would hope that they're not paying someone just to make this crap up. You can see it's the 179, and yeah, we've got our Joe logo on the bottom. Useless crap. So yeah, that's the box.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages. Now back to G.I. Joe.
All right, let's break him out. While I'm doing this, just like to mention the channel members section is up and running and going great. Got some really, really great existing channel members in there. We're doing giveaways monthly, discounts on the items that I produce and make, and also the extra content. So if you're keen on giving it a go for a couple of bucks a month, just at least give it a go. You know, check it out. All right, box will be going in the bin. This is our Do Not Choke on wetsuit figure. Open that up. That'll be going in the bin. I'm really on a kick right now of trying not to have useless shit sitting around my house, and that includes having a whole bunch of these boxes. I've just very recently created some new stands, and I've made it so that there's a storage area on the side to hold accessories as such. But yeah, I'm trying to get these things just put away in the cabinet so that I don't have to worry about them taking up space in the boxes.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages. Now back to G.I. Joe.
All right. Here is the figure. It was probably the easiest item I've ever taken out of one of these things. They've definitely done something to the packaging in the past. Like, I've had to rip this stuff like side to side to be able to get pieces out, and for some reason this is just like coming out no worries at all. And I'd like to add that I'm very happy for this, because it used to give me the shits to be able to have to try and get it out of the packaging. All right. So just straight off the bat, I do want to say, looking at this in the box is different to taking it out of the packaging. When I had been looking at this in the box, I actually wasn't that impressed. And I had to sort of like force myself a little bit just to spend the money to buy it. But now that I've got this out of the packaging, I'm a lot happier with how this looks. So let's take a look at the accessories first. And the first thing we've got to start with, obviously, is this mask. I'm pretty sure they're little lamps on the top. We've got our transparent sort of acrylic or plastic there, which is fantastic. I love me some acrylic or see-through plastic. These are swiveling on the side, which is great. They're not stuck in place, so you don't have to force them to try and get them into place. Now, in comparison to the original figure, like this thing to me, straight off the bat, feels like a retro version. It is spot on. I sort of feel like, once again, unless I'm missing something, I sort of feel like Hasbro might be a bit confused in the differences between their retro line and their classified line, like their normal line. I sort of feel that their retro line should be pretty much exact copies of the original, whereas the normal classified line, that's where they can have a bit of fun and, modernize stuff. But this figure, which I have not seen the word retro associated with it at all, seems to be a spot-on version of the original. Which I'm actually very happy for. Because if I had the choice between some modernized version or one that looks exactly like the original, I'm going to take the one that looks like the original, because that's where my memories are. So yeah, helmet, fantastic. Great job. The weapon. Not a lot of detail on it. I found with some of these classified weapons, there's a lot of detail, and then some, not so much. Now, we obviously didn't get the handgun with the original version, but that is it there. That is what they are stylizing. So, let's put that into the holster. Like so. Next up is the knife. Once again, not a lot of detail, but that's okay. It's a knife. What I probably would have liked is the string or the, slight rope wrapped around the handle. It would have provided more, as in not actual material, but the look or the mold. It would have provided a lot more detail. Now, like the handgun, that is this one here, part of the mold. So let's slot him in, like so. And that looks really cool. Actually, let's put that helmet on over here. Jesus. That is a tight fit. But looks really cool. I mean, you can see his eyes in the original piece. And now you can with this one. It's really good. Next up, the flippers. Now, we'll note these are not standardized flippers. They do go on certain feet. They're designated by the left and right in each one, and also they have curves. Completely different to the original pieces, which just plugged into the footholes. I don't have my original pieces with me, but these are way different from the original pieces. Not only the color, like the color's obvious, but the original piece just was a piece that we didn't have the top like slide-in shoe component here. He was just stepping onto it. But the biggest noticeable thing is these longer parts here and the way the lines sort of move up into here. This is a lot more frogmanish and really, really cool. This is definitely one of the parts that has been modernized. I do also appreciate that they are putting holes in this, so he can wear these and then step onto a stand. These things fit on beautifully. So look at that, and then they're on. It looks really, really cool. Okay, next up, let's go with the lamp. Now this thing seems to have a fair bit of detail on it. You can see the cross-hatching pattern on the front, which was evident on the original. They've gone with a different shape for this, and that's okay. Now, it's just these little touches that you notice are the modernization of the figure. Might actually take that off before that bloody snaps. A lot more detail on the modern version, which I would expect. But we're still getting weirdly identical things. So, you know, that front cross-hatching pattern, and then on the back here, you've sort of got the little patterns there. All in all, really nice. Now, for his little jet sled, this is the original. And this is the new. This feels a little bit flimsy. Detail on it's really nice. There's your little rotors in the back there. And then lastly, the backpack. This backpack is just identical. Now, obviously, we've got that hole, that knob, Fits on like that. And I'm guessing that's so he can wear it like, you know, a bit of backpack propulsion. Got our normal peg there, and then we have two separate pegs there. They're obviously clipping into the backpack there, or sorry, into his back. Now it's a bit of a change. I haven't seen that before in the other pieces. So we clip him in. Left side's on. Right side's on. Like so. Clip that hose on. Clip that hose on. He's got his torch. And that's him. That's him with all of his accessories on. Now, this does fit into the back of this. But it also can be carried like the old version. Like that. Not a perfect fit, but it definitely grabs a hold of it. And that's him with all of his accessories. I think that's a really good fit just on this back part.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages. Now, back to G.I. Joe.
Alright, so what do I think? I think this thing is a flat-out homage to the original. I really, honestly, don't think they could have gotten any closer to the original. And I'm really happy about that. The more I'm sort of looking at this classified version of Wetsuit, the happier I am with it. The fins are really beautiful. Like that color blue, it's different from the original, and I love it. I don't know if I should be seeing green. It's a green or a blue? But yeah, I love the fins. They're beautiful. I love that they've given us the two weapons that he had on the original that were molded in, but we get them as accessories. That's really nice. The details on the belts, very nice. I love that we still get like his dive watch and wristband. It does move, which is cool. torch is cool. Little jetpack is cool. Like, we had to get those things, didn't we? I mean, the jetpack is probably the most different looking thing from the original that you're getting on this figure. Everything else is really full on the same, but the jetpack is different. The backpack, like, I love that they've, the backpack's the same. It's got the air hoses linking to the helmet. I love that. Such a beautiful figure. This head mold, I find it a little bit, I don't know. I like it. Yeah, it's cool, I suppose. It's definitely not a disaster like some of the ones we've seen. Now, his emblem on his chest as well. They have gone to lengths to make sure that that looks exactly the same. I mean, it's just that the tail's not flicking as much, but it's the same thing. And when I tried doing some research on this, I couldn't find too much on it. To me, it clearly looks like a flying fish. And I'm going to say that that's probably just the logo for one of the underwater demo teams from the past. But it's really cool that they've kept that. I really quite like that. What do you think about this figure? Have you gone out and bought it? Are you intending to buy it? I hope my taking a look at it has helped move you along to possibly going out and buying it. I would recommend that you go and buy it. This thing is really quite nice. And like I said before, the more I'm sort of looking at it, the more I like it. This is going to look great on one of those, the clear stands. You know, just sort of standing like that, hanging like that, like he would in the ocean. I can't actually fault anything with this figure. It's just really nice. It's a really nice figure. If you enjoyed the video today, hit that like button, hit that sub button if you're not currently subbed. Once again, check out the channel members section. A couple of bucks a month, you get a heap of extra content and a whole bunch of extra things. Boys, thanks so much for checking out the video and staying till the end. Until the next video, stay frosty. Bye-bye.